welcome to the Fixtures podcast. I don't even know what episode this is, but we straight chilling out here.
Game week 12.
It's 11.
It's 11, game week 12. We straight chilling out here.
It's match day 11.
Match day 11.
Game week 11.
We're straight chilling out
Game
here.
week 11. Next week is game week 12.
I'm a genius.
We're straight chilling out here.
Okay.
Oops.
So we are in a bit of a time crunch, so unfortunately this is going to be an abbreviated Fixtures podcast.
Very abbreviated.
I will also call this one the Fixtures VAR cast. So let's jump right into it. Bournemouth 1, Manchester United 0.
Man U is so bad. Surprise.
If I say anything, I'm in trouble.
Why?
I don't want to chat. I don't want to chat anything because I know Arsenal's also just as bad.
Oh, we'll get to Arsenal. But yeah, United looking just poor again and again and again, week after week. It's really, how long can this go on for? It's really bad. And I mean, Bournemouth has just been in really bad form, really, over the past few weeks. And to beat United, yeah, that's pretty bad for United. Okay, so I don't think we'll dwell too much on that, but I mean, we've asked the question every week: is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer going to go? I think the answers are resounding yes.
Yes.
He sacked before Christmas. I think.
On Christmas.
But let's
It's an awful Christmas present.
so let's move on to Newcastle United 3, West Ham 2.
This is a great W for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Over West Ham.
Okay, I feel like people overplayed how bad Newcastle is. Like, I mean, like
No,
the fact
There's some starlets in this
I
team.
don't think they're gonna get relegated.
well, and you know why this team won 3-2? It
It was
was
West
purely because of John Joe Shelby came back in and had an absolute beast of a game. I think he was involved in all 3 goals, and he was just really just tearing it up. And he scored an amazing free kick, really, really good. So I mean, Newcastle's definitely going to be happy having him back around because he's a force to be reckoned with, and also potentially a dark wizard.
I feel like Newcastle's attack is like the Soviet Union, and I feel like Newcastle's defense is like Kazakhstan. You know, I don't know if that makes any sense, but it made sense in my head. So,
yeah. So, sure. All right. So, yeah, not really too much to mention in that game. Newcastle obviously really needing those points and being quite lucky to pick them up. Playing very well. West Ham really should have done better.
and Hilaire still hasn't been scoring. I don't think he scored since like game week 7 or 8. I don't know. It's been a little bit for him. So,
Yeah. All right, moving on. Aston Villa 1, Liverpool 2. We play better from behind.
there's actual plot armor going on with this Liverpool team. I don't understand what's going on. It's like every single time they want to lose, God wills it for them to win.
Yeah. It's funny because I mean, how many games have Liverpool won with like 94th minute headers?
The one Everton game last year. The
Well, I think
Merseyside
wasn't it
derby
last week's game we also did the same thing? Like,
Who's it against again?
oh, it was the penalty against Spurs.
Yeah, but I feel like Liverpool is kind of being like it's kind of accidentally pushing themselves to the title. So
I don't think that's accidental at all.
Liverpool.
I think that's when Liverpool goes 1-0 down. That's exactly where they want to be. I think
they do play better from behind. I
they are the definition of a second half team. Go ahead, Nick.
Liverpool did not deserve to win this game.
Oh yes, they did.
Nah, it should have been a draw.
I feel like Mane produces too much magic to draw against Aston Villa. I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. Also, this happened. He's not offsides. VAR. This is our first VAR incident we'll talk about. Bobby Firmino's like, I don't even know. I mean,
yeah. Why would you? I'm sorry.
but, I mean, look at those lines. Go pull up a picture of this online. I'll post it onto our Facebook and Instagram. Not offsides.
You won't.
Yes, I will.
Okay, here's the thing. Like, I understand like when it's like a foot or like your head or something, but his armpit does nothing. Like his armpit.
Those lines are completely arbitrary.
And then it doesn't help him at all to have his arm like slightly ahead of the defender. What? Like why does this count as offside? I feel like the rule needs to be changed a bit.
It's a joke, and it's really
apparently they're doing the Premier League managers and stuff. They're talking about having like a challenge system, like in like American football, where you can challenge the VAR.
Well, I think the big thing they're talking about right now is on-field monitors.
That's what they need. I think.
Yeah, but like the challenging thing is a little weird because but the main issue that was brought up with it was that like if coaches would like strategically do it to time waste.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think
it would
challenging
work with a free flowing game.
So
yeah, I agree.
So here's my thing about VAR. I don't think the problem right now is that rather than VAR being video assisted refereeing, I feel like right now it's just video refereeing, and
there's no regular referee. It's only VAR.
Yeah, it's whoever's at the VAR booth, and if Martin Atkinson or Mike Dean decide, oh, you know what, I think that's a penalty, I'll give it to him.
It's not even like the refs have like any say because a lot of times it's like they don't even have any doubt that like it wasn't offsides or anything, and then like the VAR is like comes on like their little mic in the ear and is like, hey, no, dude, double check that.
Well, it's not even double check that. That's the problem.
That's the ball.
It's that, hey, we're looking at this. Okay, yeah, it's a foul. I said so. Like, and then the ref's like, okay, I guess that's what it is. Let's talk about the terminology clear and obvious error.
I don't like it. I don't like it because it's just too ambiguous. But it's also clear and obvious. I don't know. I don't think it's good. It's a good way to phrase it.
Because I've seen a lot of VAR decisions. Some work. I almost feel like VAR is getting it wrong more than it's getting it right. I feel like
it was better without it, and I really wish I couldn't say that because it's such a. It would be such a good advancement if it was being utilized correctly, but it's not.
A lot of people are getting really sick of VAR, and I can definitely get that. I don't think we need to throw out VAR completely and say this was failed. We're never doing this again, because plenty of other leagues are doing it successfully.
It works everywhere else but England, and that's.
I mean, debatably. I mean, Italy has their issues. I mean, because Italy right now they had VAR as of last year, and their big issue that they're fighting with is refs sitting at the little on-field screen for extensive periods of time, like 7-8 minutes of a ref sitting there replaying a foul from every direction. I mean, I don't know. One thing I was thinking about is, I mean, really, these minor incidents really should not be reviewed in such fine detail. I mean, if you can't tell that a dude is offsides like pretty much right away from watching a replay, like you shouldn't sit there and draw these little lines and see, his pinky was offsides. Or if you have to replay a foul 100 times to see if there was contact, like it's not a foul. I'm sorry. Just go at that point. If there's that much debate about it, they should just go with the on-field, whatever the on-field thing is. Again, that's what it's supposed to be. Clear and obvious error. It shouldn't be a situation of we're going to sit here and nitpick and watch this replay 100 times to see if there was contact in the box, which we'll get to with the Chelsea game. But I just feel like it's not a case of is it a clear and obvious error. It's a case of we're going to check every little minute detail, and nobody wants that.
We're spending too much time on this. We need to go on to the next game.
I know. All right. Moving along.
Arsenal Wolves. Jacques is terrible. Arsenal's terrible. Everything's terrible.
Let Mark talk about it.
So as of today, Granit Xhaka got stripped of his captaincy, and it was given
after how many games?
2, 1, 3, maybe, I don't know. But it was given to Aubameyang.
Pathetic.
And so the problem here, I feel okay. So I'm not a tactical genius, but the problem here, I think, is the fact that we didn't shoot at all after the 32nd minute. Thank you, Nikki. But after the 32nd minute, Arsenal did not register a single shot. Like that's just sad. Like, you have to be able to at least, like, I don't get it. Why do we score and then sit back? Like we're not Southampton. We're not Norwich. We should be able to play free flowing attacking football with, we have Aubameyang, Pepe. I mean, he literally puts Pepe on the bench for no apparent reason. Meanwhile, he's playing Ceballos. He's playing Ceballos, Torreira, and Ozil in midfield, and he's got Torreira the furthest one up front. I don't know what's going on in Emery's head.
I have 2 questions for you.
Go for it.
Are you happy to see Ozil back?
Yes, but only. I'm happy about it, but I'm also skeptical because like a lot of people have been saying like Return of the King, but the last few months where he was playing, even he's kind of terrible. Like
Ozil is extremely inconsistent, extremely.
And I remember when
that was the
opposite of the case.
Okay,
or not really the opposite. But,
my second question is Emery out?
I mean, yeah, I think I've been saying it since.
I think you've been saying it since almost week 1. I would say
probably. I didn't like him last season, to be honest. I didn't think he performed well. I think Wenger was. I think sticking with Wenger would have somehow probably been a little bit slightly better than this.
I doubt that.
That's debatable, but I could definitely see it. But I don't know. This is not working what they have going on right now. And I think the captaincy pick now of going to Aubameyang is a really good example of really Arsenal's problem is they really don't have on-field leadership. There's really no.
I would say the only one that has any sort of leadership characteristics is Kieran Tierney.
And I feel like Bellerin does too.
Kieran Tierney's too new to the squad.
Yeah, but Tierney, he has experience leading, is what I'm saying. He has leadership experience, is what I'm saying.
Yes. To be fair, Xhaka has been the captain of both Borussia Mönchengladbach and Switzerland.
He's not the captain of anymore.
Arsenal. And Aubameyang is, I guess, the Arsenal captain now, but he was also the captain of Gabon, or he still is, I think. I don't know, but. I mean, the point is, like, being a captain somewhere else doesn't particularly mean that they will be, like, a great captain.
True. Yeah.
And Hector Bellerin is 24 years old. I feel like he's old enough to wear the armband. And I know he's going to be, I think he would break the curse is the thing. Like, I don't see Aubameyang staying for any more than 2 years or however long his contract is. So, we haven't had a captain stay for longer than 2 years since, like, Tony Adams. I think it was maybe Patrick Vieira, possibly Fabregas, but yeah, other than those 3, like all the captains have been out in 2 years. So I feel like Bellerin would have been a much better choice for the future over an aging Aubameyang who's gonna leave soon if we don't get Champions League football.
All right, moving on. Sheffield United 3, Burnley 0. Big win for Sheffield United. Very big win. Played a really good game. Lundstrom, obviously, racking up the fantasy points and racking up the real points. 3 points for Sheffield United.
You had him second on your bench, Ryan.
I know.
Rest in peace.
Big boy Roy had him captain.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Why would you captain a Sheffield United center back?
Because he's not a center back, he's a center mid.
Yeah, but he's in the game as a center back.
Exactly, which is why it's so good, because when he scores, he gets more points. And when Sheffield United keeps a clean sheet, which they've been doing consistently, he's getting even more points. So,
right. All right, so just to move things along here, we have Brighton 2, Norwich 0. Both of these teams should have been relegated after this performance. Oh my God, was this awful to watch.
I didn't watch it, so.
Me neither.
You guys are lucky. Brighton basically, how many shots did they end up racking up? I mean, it was astounding just how poor they were. 21 shots, 5 on target. They were just,
That's 16 shots off target.
They had so many shots in the box, and it was just they were just wide and all over the place, and it was just horrible. And Norwich was giving the ball away and giving them golden opportunities, and Brighton was just completely missing every shot they had. It was awful. But neither of these teams deserve any points from that display. It was bad. It was really bad.
That sounds like a very fun game to watch.
All right, moving on after that game now.
Manchester City 2, Southampton 1.
City deserved to lose this game.
Yep. I would agree with that.
I feel like Southampton just decided they wanted to come back, and I feel like they kind of proved themselves to not be the whooping boys of the Premier League. I don't like them personally. I think they should be relegated anyways, but this kind of proves that
City?
Haha. But yeah, this kind of proves that Southampton can hold their own in the Premier League, but they've been proving that since they got back. So.
They still lost.
Yeah.
If City had been playing a better team, would they have lost?
No, they were playing a better team. They were playing a worse team and they won. What you just said made no sense.
Yeah,
if City was playing against
that's
Arsenal,
not what you said.
Or Chelsea, do you think they would have lost? Well, that's
yes,
what I meant.
100%. 100%.
This City team grinds out big results.
That was not a big result. That was 2-1 to Southampton.
Yeah, they grind out big results.
If they played exactly the same way they played versus Southampton.
No, I know, but they grind out the big results against the top 6. Like other than Liverpool, they can consistently beat the entire league. The problem is they falter against some of the lower teams, which I think is a problem that Chelsea had a couple of years ago. They would have won the title, I think, if they didn't just completely lose against like the Norwiches and the Cardiffs of the league.
And next week, obviously, City playing Liverpool at Anfield. What are your predictions, Nikki?
What did he say?
Manchester City versus Liverpool next week at Anfield. What's your predicted scoreline?
0-0 draw.
You think 0-0 draw?
Yes.
Mark, what do you think?
I'm going to go adventurous with a 1-1 draw.
I'm going to say 2-1 Liverpool.
Yeah, it's because you're a Liverpool fan. Surprise.
2-1 Liverpool.
Bleeding confidence. I like it.
Origi, 96-minute header.
Ooh.
All right.
Lovak.
Nikki, your game. Watford 1, Chelsea 2.
That was not a penalty.
It was not a penalty. What a disgrace.
They reviewed it, and even the commentators were like, this a penalty, this a penalty.
No, the commentator, at least on the game I was watching, the commentator literally said, if that's a penalty, this game is just falling apart.
It was not a penalty. I mean, if you look,
it was not a penalty.
Did you happen to see that, Mark?
Nope.
Okay, so
in any imagination,
let me describe it to you. It was
impossible.
Okay,
it was not a penalty.
What happened was, so Delafeu's dribbling. Like, pretend this is the outline. Like, the goal is like here.
You can't see this, but he's using his hands.
But so Delafeu is dribbling into the box from the right side. He dribbles in. He goes all the way up against the outline, pretty much, and he has the ball still. He hits the ball in front of him. Jorginho goes in for a tackle, clips maybe his like pinky toenail. Okay.
He brushed his shin.
Delafeu. Okay, listen to what happens though. Delafeu does not fall. Delafeu keeps going for 5 steps and then falls over when he realizes the ball has gone out of play. And then they called that a penalty. That is not a penalty.
Also, Delafeu's awful. So.
Yeah, he literally every game I've seen him this season, he's just been flopping around like a dolphin trying to get.
Honestly, he should have given yellow carded for diving.
That was 100%. It was horrendous. I honestly hate him so much now. I thought he was like half decent. I cannot stand him.
It was honestly appalling, and it was. I mean,
it's a disgrace
for VAR to overturn that. Now let's talk about this wording again. Clear and obvious error.
Not an obvious error.
The on-field call
was no penalty.
Because
it was not a penalty.
Not only was this a case of VAR stepping in. This is a case of VAR stepping in and saying that the ref on field got it wrong, and that was indeed a penalty. If that was a penalty, the amount of any
type of contact in the box,
any contact in the box is a penalty. I mean, that's just insane.
I mean, it's a contact sport. I mean, it's not like we're playing like flag football. It's a contact sport.
And here's my big qualifier for it. Anybody who thinks it is a penalty, if that foul happens anywhere outside the box, no way is play stops. No way. So. Yeah, that was honestly appalling, and that should be a case enough to throw out VAR tomorrow and make sure. And I mean, it's not helping. It's not helping. It's making things worse, and it's not even like, okay, we're slowing down the game, but at the expense of getting every call right. Also, at this point, it's just up to whatever ref is just saying, oh, you know what, I think it is this, and then the ref on field goes, no, I don't think it is, and then the VAR ref can just overturn anything on the field. That's insane.
Also, I wanted to point out that after that, Jorginho literally almost beat the crap out of Delafeu.
Probably, I don't blame him.
Literally in the game, he was going so hard in the challenges with Delafeu, and any time that Delafeu would get like slightly angry at him, Jorginho would just flip and just like push him almost to the ground. It was hilarious.
But all in all, Chelsea played really well. And they racked up a lot of shots on target, and it honestly could have been. 5-0 is what really it should have been. Christian Pulisic and Tammy Abraham getting the goals.
I think Christian Pulisic getting another goal kind of just concretes
16 shots, 10 on target.
Concretes his spot into the starting 11 for the next couple games, I would say at least.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to be dropping Callum Hudson-Odoi.
I mean,
for my
4 goals
team.
in 2 games. And he assisted Tammy Abraham's goal.
That's pretty good.
All right.
Actually, no, he didn't assist Tammy Abraham's goal. It was Jorginho.
Yes,
Did you see Tammy Abraham's goal was insane.
Yeah, that Jorginho
pass was also insane. Jorginho, I think last year he got a lot of stick. I don't really know why he didn't play that bad last year, but this year he's playing phenomenal.
I think because people were expecting him to be doing what he's doing this season and being that kind of deep lying.
That's not what Sarri wanted him to play at the time. Sarri wanted him to play as a cam almost when we got him.
He's a pivot player. He plays as the pivot in a system, and he really takes the ball and plays those forward passes. Also, to break through the defense.
If you look at the stats, the man just going off of purely stats, the man of the match was 100% Kovacic.
Really, I think
Kovacic. No, it was set. Even Chelsea put out a thing that was like, our man of the match is Kovacic because of these stats. That's happened 2 games in a row now, where Kovacic has just been everywhere on the pitch. He's been making tackles, making passes. He had the highest pass completion rate out of any player on Chelsea. He had the highest dribble rate out of any player on Chelsea. He had one of the highest tackle rates, and he's a midfielder. It's insane.
Lampard is working wonders on this midfield. Every single one of those players that Sarri signed up last year is looking so much better under Lampard.
If you told me Kovacic was going to be an instrumental player in Chelsea's season this year, I would have told you were a damn fool.
Me too.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Honestly, if you'd have told me that this Chelsea team would be in, what are they, in third right now?
They're tied for third.
Tied for third. Fourth place on goal difference with 23 points, tied with Leicester. If you had told me that they'd be competing for a top 4 spot, I would have laughed in your face. I thought they'd be down with.
I would say they're competing for a top 2 spot even. I mean, they're only 2 points behind City.
Yeah.
They're 2 points behind City.
I feel like it's not a top 2 anymore. It's a top 1, and then 3 more after that right now.
I mean, there's still definitely things can change. I don't think Liverpool should not feel too comfortable. I don't think it's their league to lose.
Also,
as a lot of people have been saying.
I saw an interesting stat recently that was Chelsea has had more VAR used against them than any other team in the Premier League this season.
Oh, that's got to be. Liverpool's got to be close. They got to be real close.
Liverpool was either second or third. But
they got to be second.
Chelsea was number 1. Chelsea, they were number 1 by a decent amount. They've had so much VAR used against them, and they've still managed to stay in 4th place.
All right,
impressive.
Well, let's move things along. Crystal Palace 0, Leicester City 2. Leicester City picking up points, doing what's needed to do to stay top 4 and the top 3 at this point. Putting Palace to shame. Leicester City played really well and just outplayed Palace. I think it really doesn't come down much more than that.
I'm really impressed by Leicester this season. They're honestly
playing.
They're playing amazing.
I'm really impressed by Soyuncu.
Yeah, Soyuncu. They brought him up from the academy, didn't they?
No, he was out of Roma.
What?
Yeah, Arsenal was interested in him when he was at Roma.
I know he didn't play at Roma.
What?
I don't think he played at Roma.
He was in Italy before.
Yeah, I think he was in Italy, but I don't think he was at Roma.
I don't remember what.
Let's check transfer market. You're both wrong. He was at Freiburg.
Nice. Well, all I remember is that Arsenal was very
in 2016. So he moved to Leicester City August 9th, 2018. So.
He was on Arsenal's transfer targets. We didn't sign him for some reason, even though he's cheap. But yeah, he's turned out to be a great player for Liverpool. Leicester.
Yeah, Soyuncu, I believe he spent last season in the academy, and then they brought him up when Maguire left.
He played a couple games last year, I think. He started a few,
but he played. I think he played mostly Premier League 2 games.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
He's very young.
So I think that wraps up Leicester City. Yeah. Palace, Leicester City being really, really on good form right now. Lastly, 2 teams that are not on good form. Everton 1, Tottenham 1.
R.I.P. Andre Gomez, bro.
Seriously,
that injury is
just
horrific.
it was horrible for I think everybody involved. I felt horrible for obviously Andre Gomez.
I felt even worse for Son. Dude.
He was obviously just devastated.
I know. Son and Aurier. Aurier was devastated too.
Yeah, and good news is Son's red card was overturned. I don't know if you guys saw that.
It was not,
right, and rightfully so. It was not a red. It was definitely. Yeah, it was. I was a total freak accident type thing. It was nothing. I don't think it was anything malicious. There was no deliberate.
Nothing.
It was just.
I think Son is the nicest footballer on the planet. I don't think you can name a nicer guy than
Conte.
Yeah, he's a bit of a.
I would say him and Conte are tied for literally the nicest. Not even nicest footballer, nicest guys on the planet.
Son has a
mean streak.
No, not a mean streak, but he's got he's definitely does. No, he's like when he was playing Liverpool and he was like every time there would be a free kick, he would be standing where he obviously should not be standing, right in front of the person trying to take the free kick, smiling his face off. But he's funny because he tries to do like what somebody like Sergio Ramos would do, but he's just sitting there giggling.
I mean, he's a genuine nice guy. I feel like.
It's funny, and I think Pochettino's trying to get a meaner side out of him, so he's like getting in people's faces but just laughing. So yeah, I feel obviously just a bad situation for everyone involved. Hopefully, Andre Gomez can. Come back stronger from that, but it's going to be
he did undergo surgery successfully.
Yeah, so. But it's going to be a long way back.
Did you see the picture of his ankle?
No, I didn't. Honestly, I couldn't even watch it. I heard about it, and I was like, I'm not.
Honestly, the footage does not do it justice at all. The footage is not bad.
Does not show the extent of the injury. The picture itself is just awful. The
picture is insane. Okay, so to describe the picture, it is basically the bone that attaches the bottom of your leg to your foot is sticking out of his foot.
It's like coming out of his...
It's really bad.
And his foot is just brushed off to the side.
It's really bad. And then I think, would you guys agree that coming off of that, I think Spurs was just kind of still in a daze and then got scored on like that?
It had to be like that.
I think 100%. I think they were just like
they didn't even know what to do with themselves. They were so distraught. It was just shock, and they got scored on. I don't think either team really deserved to take away 3 points from that.
I think a draw was definitely the correct result.
Yeah, and I would agree. Okay, also based off who scored that final goal, kind of makes sense that Spurs were a little dazed at least. It's Cenk Tosin. He didn't score for a long time.
And so that puts at the end of the week right now, we have Southampton, Norwich, and Watford in the relegation zone. Out of those teams, which ones do you think are going down? Nikki?
Watford and Southampton.
You think Norwich is going to be okay? They've been actually really bad form, right?
Norwich, honestly, I could see those three themselves going down. But I think for sure, like a definite is definitely Watford, Southampton.
Norwich is in the worst form out of all of them right now.
I know, but I just think like overall, I think it definitely is Watford, Southampton.
What do you think, Mark?
Watford, Norwich for sure. My thing with saying Southampton's going to go down is that every time I say it, they never do, and so at this point, I'm just accepting that they're not going down, and I'm going to say either Burnley. Maybe Newcastle or Villa is going down. It's got to be one of those three.
So you think Everton's going to claw their way out of there?
There's no way Everton's getting relegated. I've seen them in worse shape than this. I think they finished 17th multiple times. I think Everton's also refuses to get relegated. But that's how Aston Villa used to be. So
also, I don't think we talked about it enough, but Sheffield United in 6th place right behind Arsenal right now.
It deserves to be
How
ahead
impressive
of us.
is that?
I thought Sheffield United was going to be relegated immediately.
Yeah, I mean, who in a million years would have put Sheffield United in 6th place at this point?
Not me.
That's just crazy. That's just insane. I cannot believe that. And I mean,
especially
like when you see Villa and Norwich kind of floundering at the bottom of the table, and then you see Sheffield United in 6th. I mean, with one loss in their last 5, that's crazy. And I mean, they're above Manchester United, Tottenham, Wolves, West Ham. I mean, they're above so many good teams. It's astounding. I can't believe it.
The management and the summer recruitments have been great. Other than Ravel Morrison, I'd say just about every recruitment that they made this summer was genius. I don't know why they got Revel Morrison if they're just going to stick him on the bench, but yeah.
All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up. Thank you for listening. We apologize for the shorter episode, but we'll see you next week, and thanks for listening.
Peace out, gangsters.